As we head up to 6:45 here on the South African Morning, the Saturday edition. Good to have you with us. From me and the team, I'm Gareth Edwards. Just to remind you, I'm going to speak about the use of ivermectin to treat COVID-19 here in South Africa, getting the stamp of approval. I'll be speaking to the SA Medical Association just after 7 o'clock this morning. Before we get to that, though, Upshot is a collection of 7 short stories by 6 authors imagining financial scenarios in the near future. It's curated by internationally renowned science fiction author Lauren Beukes and is based on real financial concepts sourced from financial consultancy RisCura. Well, Upshot takes society's present concerns and provokes the reader to think about how they can best invest in the future. Well, I'm joined by RisCura MD Malcolm Fair to tell me a little bit more about Upshot. Good morning to you, Malcolm. Even just taking a look at what you are trying to achieve, I said in the intro to you before the break that I imagine having someone who writes fiction for financial literacy is probably going to help an idiot like me understand what is actually happening in global markets. Good morning. It's a great idea. Where did it come from?
Thanks, Gareth. Yeah, it is a very interesting idea. I guess, you know, we're a firm which is quite purpose-driven in what we do in the investment arena. And, you know, we sat down and we took our diverse group of investment experts and we thought, you know, we'd love to do something which can help people to understand our world better. And that, combined with how do we get our brand out there and tell the world about the great work that we do. And we came up with the idea of storytelling, rather than, say, bland old training or straight up, courses, etc., that we could do. As a sideline, we decided, well, why don't we actually get someone to write some great stories? Storytelling is such a powerful thing. And we thought this would be a novel and useful way to get messages across about, you know, what really affects us as a society and planet, particularly when looked at through a financial lens.
Let's talk about that financial lens, which these stories are going to help us look into your world, look around our own world, especially for those who don't understand necessarily how the financial world and the real world, the everyday world, come head to head. Climate change, universal basic income, health coverage, and then debt slavery. Malcolm, these are very serious issues that you're trying to put into these stories, these curated stories. How did you come up with the topics? Where was that decision made?
So that's an interesting one, actually. What we wanted to do, because we felt that we wanted to involve as broad a group as possible within our organization. We actually sat down and workshopped ideas with our team. So, you know, as a matter of course, in our business, we're sitting thinking about the future because we have to make investment decisions. We give advice to our clients. Our big institutions are mostly our clients, and we have to think really hard about what's going to happen in future. And that meant we thought, well, you know, we're thinking through all these different ideas, like how's the world going to play out if we take this decision or if this is done, etc. And we thought, well, let's share those ideas. So we actually wrote up a list of probably 15, 20 ideas. We then worked with Lauren, amazing to work with Lauren. And she took it to this group of writers, took the list, and they looked at it and got a sense of, you know, which they were drawn to, and then got on and wrote the stories.
Malcolm, just before I start saying goodbye to you, because I mean, there's a lot we can unpack. I mean, just climate change. You and I can sit here and talk all day about climate change and the damage that the former U.S. president has caused for that. We won't even go down that road. Universal basic income, major issue for us here. Health coverage, a major issue for us here. And I'm sure many people are going to want to now go and look for these stories. So just in the last minute that I have with you, where are we in this process and where can people get these stories? Where can they find them? How do they subscribe? How do they buy them? Where can people start looking for them?
No problem. So RisCura, we have a website, RisCura, and the Upshot series. So this is the actual physical book. Unfortunately, we didn't print a lot of copies of the actual physical, but online we've got a microsite, Upshot at RisCura. So Upshot being the name of the anthology. And so if you Google search that and go in, they're available electronically there. We also have some audiobooks which are available on most audiobook platforms, Spotify, etc. And there's printables, so you can, if you're still into physical, you can print them and read them there.
I'm sure some of the older generations still prefer having a book in their hands. I'm sure they'll go look for it as well. MD of RisCura, Malcolm Fair, thank you, and all the congratulations in the world to you and your team for putting together a very, very clever idea. Writers curating a series of stories focusing on financial literacy, financial issues, climate change, universal basic income. Looking forward to seeing that. That is the RisCura MD, Malcolm Fair, here on ENCA.